कृष्णवागीशयतीश्वराभ्यां सम्प्राप्तचक्राङ्कणभाष्यसारं श्रीनूत्नरङ्गेन्द्रयतौ समर्पितस्वं श्रीकृष्णमार्यं गुरुवर्यमीडे विरोधे कार्तिके मासे शतताराकृतोदयं योगाचार्यं कृष्णमार्यं गुरुवर्यमहं भजे श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः.
Vedic chanting is also known as Vedadhyayanam. It is the procedure of reciting Vedic texts. We listen to the teacher and we repeat it twice in the beginning so that we learn it to pronounce it correctly, punctuate correctly, etc. And once we have learned this, we learn to chant this on a regular basis each day.
In music we have 7 notes, but in Vedas we have only 3 notes. And in music, we can we can give gamakam also, that is like that. But in Vedas we can't do like that. We have to correctly pronounce the udata, that is upper note, lower note and middle.
Mantras are short sacred chants that we recite it many times in the same day. We don't recite the mantra only one time usually. We are usually reciting a mantra many times. The process of repeating the same mantra again and again is called mantra japa. Vedic chanting is slightly different because Vedic chanting involves the chanting of Vedic texts which are slightly long passages. We don't chant it many times. We only chant it one time usually in a day. So this is a very key difference between how the mantras are chanted in the procedure called japa and how Vedadhyayanam is done, which is basically chanting the text one time usually per day, sometimes one time in the morning, one time in the evening, etc. But mantra and chanting are also connected because all the statements that are coming in Vedic texts are also considered as mantras. So mantras and Vedic chanting also share this connection. Another difference is that mantras are not only from the Vedas, but they can also be created by a teacher. Certain great acharyas have created different mantras, whereas Vedic chanting is called apaurushaya, that is, it is coming directly from the divine being. So this is also a very important difference between mantra and Vedic chanting.
It vitalizes our breathing. It finds our own voice and expression. See, when you recite chanting, certain letters you have to say, with the effort. That is, you have to use your prana more. So we call it as a mahapranam. When you do that, it gives you energy. Like for example, ha, bha, gha, all those words, you have to use more prana. So that gives you more energy. When the teacher chants, you listen to teacher chanting and you repeat that. By doing like that, your listening also improves. And also by chanting, the tongue becomes very sharp and the pronunciation and the way you talk, becomes very clear. It enhances overall health. For example, if somebody has a period problem, it helps them to regularize their period. And also if somebody has an indigestion problem, by chanting, it improves.
It changes our vibration into a state of a more positive vibrations. So when we have more positive vibrations, more positive things come to us. This is also something that the Vedic tradition believes in. That's why when you look at the ancient traditions, they're always engaging with some form of chanting or the other, be it the Christian tradition, be it the Judaistic tradition, be it the Islamic tradition, be it the Buddhist tradition or the Vedic tradition. Chanting has always been used as one form of changing the way we feel about ourselves and therefore feeling connected to the divine consciousness. That is why chanting forms an important part of many of these traditions. Another benefit of chanting is that it can help in improving certain attributes about ourselves. For example, we can become more expressive with our voice. Many times we are growing up in a generation where we are not able to express our feelings in a very positive and appropriate manner. Chanting helps us to listen and repeat the Vedic chants. Through this process of listening and repeating, we also learn how to listen to our own body, our own feelings, our own emotions, and express it in a positive way so that it is also useful for others. So chanting in some ways is helping us in a non-violent way to express our feelings that is true to our heart. Traditionally, Vedic chanting was not open to all. It was only allowed for some people. However, great acharyas like Krishnamacharya and consequently Kausthub Desikachar opened the doors of chanting to everybody so that everybody can benefit from that. Acharya Krishnamacharya said that in today's time, what he called as Apat Kala, anybody who has the Shraddha, faith in chanting, can do chanting. And this is why we are very fortunate to have this gift of Vedic chanting and we are able to share it with the whole world. So, anybody who is seriously interested in engaging with chanting are most welcome to join this journey.
I was very shy, before my marriage, and I didn't have any friends, I didn't have anybody to communicate also. And I was very afraid to talk in English and also to mingle with all the people. When I got married, I was forced to talk to all foreigners because my husband was a yoga teacher. So I was shy, and then I was hiding myself, not to see people. But my husband said, this is not going to work, so you have to chant. Why don't you chant Hanuman, on Hanuman, so that you will get confidence. So I started to do that, and then now I am able to face all the audience. That's how I got, by chanting, the confidence.
For me personally, Vedic chant has been a great support in improving my well-being. Some years ago, I faced very great challenges both in a professional domain as well as in my personal domain. I was feeling very lonely and I could not talk very easily to many people, and I had to deal with some of these emotions myself. The gift of chanting suddenly came forward and offered itself to me, and through learning chanting in a more serious manner, through engaging with the chanting in a more regular manner, I could overcome this challenge very easily. It took some time, but as I engaged more and more deeper with this chant, it brought me to a state where I could reconnect with myself and therefore be a better human being, come out of this negative state of emotions, negative state of mind, and actually be a better person both to my family as well as to my friends, and also be a much more clear teacher to the students that I deal with. So chanting has been a very great gift to help me in a very, very challenging phase of my life. And I am not alone in this process. Many people I know have benefited from chanting when they have faced grave difficulties. So chanting is a very powerful tool that can deeply influence our heart and the feelings that are associated with our heart, such as fear, anxiety, self-confidence, doubt, etc. So this has been my greatest experience with chanting. Now you should consider to become a Vedic chant teacher, because when you engage in this training, you engage in a process of personal and spiritual transformation. Vedic chanting will help you find your own inner voice. And when you find your inner voice, you will be able to better express yourself. And when you are able to express yourself better, you will also be able to help others express themselves better. So you will be doing a gift to humanity by helping people empowered in the process of self-expression. Vedic chant also will help you go closer to yourself and therefore help enhance your intuitive capabilities. Then you will start to perceive the world better. You will start to perceive the world in a more positive way, and therefore also draw more positive things to your own life. Vedic chant will also help you in the process of improving your own memory, your own mental discipline, etc. Because the process of learning Vedic chant involves you to listen and repeat these chants. And by this process, your memory and your mental discipline will improve, and these are very vital aspects to deal with our day-to-day life. Vedic chant will also help you in reducing your stress. When we do the chant, when we have to listen to the teacher and repeat, we have to be so focused on the chants and the sounds and the punctuations, etc., that we cannot have any other thoughts that occupy our mind. It's almost like a meditative experience using sound as the medium. And when we do this, all other distractions that occupy our mind slowly disappear. And when we are very focused on something and we don't get distracted by all the stress and the tension in the world, slowly and eventually our human body also gets relaxed, and the stress level will definitely come down. And when stress level comes down, a whole range of other benefits also improve, which is including improvement in quality of life, as well as improving in our health condition, etc. And most importantly, improvement of our vitality, because Vedic chanting is ultimately engaging with our prana, our energy, and the more we engage with that, the more energized we become. Krishnamacharya was not only an expert in chanting but also in many fields of Indian philosophy and wisdom. So he could combine these different knowledge systems together and offer a synergetic way of sharing these precious teachings in a manner that is both respecting the tradition as well as respecting the changing needs of our modern life. So in this tradition of teaching, Vedic chanting is done in a classical way, and the student is led in a step-by-step manner to make sure that the pronunciation is right, to make sure that they are punctuating in the correct manner, to make sure that they are respecting the rules of chanting, etc. But at the same time, meanings of these chants are given, how to apply these chants in a modern context that helps us in a wide variety of circumstances is also taught. In this training also, classical Sanskrit is also taught, enough to be able to chant the classic texts, and that is why this training would be of great value to those people who would like to engage in this path of becoming a Vedic chant teacher. Om Sahana Vavatu
Sahanau Bhunaktu
Saha Viryam Karavavahai
Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti